The owner of the store was a roadie for Bob Seger. He's got a cat named Night Moves. She had a lot of nipples.
Georgie and Mandy's first marriage highlights. Georgie's The Big Bang Theory, Sheldon Grudge. Just to be sure, there's a spoiler. Although Georgie and Mandy's first marriage gave Georgie and Connor a sweet scene together, this unintentionally highlighted how sad his relationship with Sheldon was in The Big Bang Theory. By The Big Bang Theory's finale, most of the show's loose ends had been tied up. Howard and Bernadette were married with children, Leonard and Penny were married and expecting their first child, and even Amy and Sheldon had gotten married and won the Nobel Prize. Young Sheldon's ending confirmed that the pair also had children, meaning the perpetually single Raj was the only one who didn't receive this traditional ending. However, some supporting stars from The Big Bang Theory's cast of characters never received the same level of closure. In Season 11, Episode 23, The Sibling Realignment, Sheldon's older brother Georgie appeared on screen for the first time. He resented Sheldon for failing to help him support their mother Mary in the years after their father, George Sr., died. Meanwhile, Sheldon resents Georgie for disrespecting him throughout their childhood and adolescence, reading their sibling rivalry as unfair mistreatment on Georgie's part. By the end of the episode, the pair bury their feud and are finally left on relatively good terms.
Why y'all dressed up?
I was told to look nice for company.
That meant take a shower.
Welcome to Movie Spy. Georgie admits he wished he knew Sheldon better in Georgie and Mandy's first marriage, Episode 7. Georgie attempts to bond with Mandy's brother Connor on a road trip. However, Georgie and Sheldon's relationship doesn't receive much more focus in The Big Bang Theory outside of Georgie's brief appearance at Sheldon's wedding. As such, it is hard to know how well the pair recovered from their decade-long feud. And this is made worse by Georgie and Mandy's first marriage, Season 1, Episode 7, An Old Mustang. In this outing, Georgie takes it upon himself to help Mandy's misfit brother Connor bond with his traditional father Jim. In the process, Georgie accidentally makes his relationship with Sheldon even sadder by admitting that he often wished the pair could have been closer. As Georgie and Mandy's first marriage's title implies, the show's story is mostly concerned with the newlyweds and the reasons behind their eventual canonical separation. However, the Young Sheldon spin-off also finds time for subplots involving Georgie's family and relationship with Mandy's family, the McAllisters. His attempts to bond with Connor turned sad in An Old Mustang, when Georgie admitted that he wished he was closer to Sheldon while talking to Mandy's socially awkward brother. Although viewers could have guessed this, hearing Georgie confirm that he wanted a better relationship with his little brother was a tragic moment. Georgie's relationship with Connor shows that Sheldon and his brother could have had a better relationship. Georgie encourages Connor to embrace his unconventional self. Georgie proved surprisingly supportive of Connor's Sheldon-esque eccentricities throughout An Old Mustang, and it is obvious that his patient attitude toward Mandy's brother comes from years of helping Sheldon fit in. Although Sheldon often complained about how Missy and Georgie would gang up on him throughout The Big Bang Theory, Young Sheldon proved that this wasn't an entirely fair recollection of their childhood relationship. Georgie sometimes tormented his little brother, but he also often took care of him and did what he could to help Sheldon out. Seeing him fulfill the same role as Connor made The Big Bang Theory's feud even sadder. Although Georgie regretted the fact that he and Sheldon weren't closer in this episode of Georgie and Mandy's first marriage, this clearly changed at some point after the spin-off ended and before the Big Bang Theory story began. As sad as it is, Georgie and Sheldon's Big Bang Theory feud sadly makes sense, since Sheldon's life seemed pretty successful to his older brother. With a lucrative permanent job at the university, a stable group of friends, and eventually even a happy romantic relationship, it looked like Sheldon had everything he could want. It is no surprise Georgie didn't think Sheldon needed his help. Georgie no longer had that regret in The Big Bang Theory. He resented Sheldon instead. Georgie resented his little brother in his Big Bang Theory introduction. By the time the Big Bang Theory story took place, Georgie's regret over not spending time with Sheldon calcified into resentment of his little brother. While The Big Bang Theory's version of Missy remained in comparatively regular contact with Sheldon, the original show's version of Georgie seemingly had no contact with his little brother for years. This is understandable from Georgie's perspective, since he felt that Sheldon abandoned him to take care of Meemaw, Missy, and Mary alone after George Sr.'s death. However, this expectation was also somewhat unreasonable on Georgie's part. Sheldon was, after all, very young when George Sr. died. Georgie was too young to take on the responsibility of looking after Meemaw, his mother, his sister, his wife, and his baby Cece by the time Georgie and Mandy's first marriage began, and this was immediately obvious in the series. One potential reason behind Georgie and Mandy's first marriage's big breakup could be the intense anxiety Georgie feels around his position as a caregiver to 4 generations of family members. However, Sheldon was only 13 years old around that time. He was even less equipped to help out than Georgie, which makes Georgie's resentment over Sheldon's college career feel less fair. Mary unintentionally made Georgie and Sheldon's feud worse. Mary's coddling of Sheldon inadvertently made their relationship worse. Georgie may have recognized that Sheldon was only a child if it weren't for one other factor in their troubled relationship. Mary's preferential treatment of Sheldon exacerbated Sheldon and Georgie's feud throughout The Big Bang Theory, since she treated Sheldon as both a genius and a coddled child, while she asked a lot of Georgie after George Sr. died. Georgie felt that his efforts to help out Missy and Mary went unappreciated, while Sheldon was roundly praised. This would definitely result in a grudge towards the younger sibling. This deepened the divide between the pair, as noted by Georgie in the Sibling Realignment. Thanks for watching.